Okay, we're back here live. This is the last stretch of Hadoop World 2012. I'm John Furrier, the founder of SiliconANGLE.com, and you're inside theCUBE, and we're with Dani Rayan, who is a good friend of mine. We worked at Cloudera together. Well, I didn't work at Cloudera. I worked in the Cloudera offices as part of SiliconANGLE when we were bootstrapping, thanks to Amar Awadallah and Mike Olson and the whole team at Cloudera. I think they had like 30-something employees at the time. You were an intern over there, and you helped me put together my vertical engine project, and co-founder of that. Now you're the chief architect for the data platform at Riot Games. Dani, we've known each other for almost 2 years now. Been great to know you. You're now famous because not only are you the founder of a startup in Silicon Valley as now a technical advisor, but also at Riot Games, you give a great talk here about the work you're doing at Riot. So let's get into that talk. What are you talking about at Riot Games? Tell us about some of the things you were mentioning.
First of all, thanks John for such an awesome introduction. Well, my talk was structured around how we use Hadoop and Hive for all our business intelligence. So Riot Games, if you know, it's a very, it's a hardcore gaming company, I would say, unlike the casual games which people generally talk about. We are like a huge, massive game. Like, every session lasts from 20 minutes to 45 minutes, and within that period of time, the gamers...
So hold on, so just if you can see this little stat here, Ricky took a picture, we'll put it on the website, a little graph here, I'll give you the stats here. You're a big data, right, you're supposed to fly, you're looking for engineers, so you're looking to hire a big data engineer. So if you're a big data engineer and you got some chops, call Dani, but you structured data, you're doing 500 gigs daily, 4.5 terabytes daily in terms of application operational logs. And we heard log data is the new currency. 6 million unique people a day, right? 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube. 270 million views on YouTube. So, that's not small.
That is
and
not
it's all,
small.
and we were talking last night, and I overheard you talking to someone else that your average time on game is what, 40 minutes?
Yeah, that's right. So every player has to like spend some amount of time, and at any given point, we have around 4 million players playing on our gaming servers. So 4 million players concurrently are supported, and which is very huge. And here the level of engagement is pretty high. You cannot like go away from your keyboard. You will lose in the game. So players produce a ton of data, which is gold mine for us. And more importantly, here there is no barrier to entry. Anyone can create a free account and start playing our game, which is so much awesome. So we had to somehow find a way to like run our servers. So we sell some skins and we sell some unique goods which the players buy. And since there is a small amount of e-commerce involved, the technology behind the data and the kind of analysis you can do with the data becomes highly critical, and it's the gold mine. So that's why big data is very important for us.
First, we have some gamers in our audience here. Actually, Alex at the desk here is a hardcore gamer. Kian's a gamer, I guess. Mark Hopkins is a little bit older than Alex. It's like, well, younger than me. He's a gamer as well.
Oh, wow.
So at E3 this week, we saw a lot of announcements. One of them, I think, was Watchdog, which is all big database, where they're using big data to actually change the experience in the game. Are you guys at that level? Is this more of like data that you're collecting in the logs? Where's Riot?
We are started very recently with Hadoop and so on. So we are catching up. We are going very aggressive on that. So that's all I would say right at this point.
You get fired if you get, no one get fired on the cube. Okay, so what about Hadoop and Hive and HBase are you using? Let's talk about some of the tech. Let's get into the tech.
Sure. So different pieces of technologies are used for different things. Hive is like a query, for any query as a rule of thumb, if you can tolerate a response time of greater than 30 seconds, probably you can use Hive for that query. So it's not good for hooking up visualization tools like Tableau or something directly. You know what I mean? For every change or every query, you have to wait more than 30 seconds in Hive. It's kind of a bulldozer. It's kind of a bulldozer which can do massive amount of jobs very easily. But if you need kind of a surgical tool, probably Hive is not the case, and that's why we have this new HBase, which everyone is talking about, which is not new. In fact, it's been for a while. We have used HBase since 2009, but now it's catching up because it offers this low latency key value access, and many people are trying to do OLAP, like online analytical processing, using HBase. So OLAP for big data, which is catching up, and which is a very interesting trend. So HBase is for near real-time analytics, less than 30-second queries. Hive greater than 30-second, and Hadoop is the mothership of everything. It stores all the data ultimately.
Let's talk about HBase. So for the folks out there that don't know, Dani was co-founder of a product that we're spinning out of SiliconANGLE called VDP Finder. It's a stealth name, but now then you moved to Riot Games, and we now have Narendra on the team handling the day-to-day engineering. You're a technical advisor at that company. But we did some pretty cool things playing around with HBase. So let's talk about HBase in context to what we're doing with VDP Finder. If you can share a little bit about why that's so compelling and what we learned.
Yeah, sure. So,
without giving away the secret sauce.
Yeah, that's the secret sauce. Okay, so VDP Finder, or whatever we have built, is kind of a completely
vertical engine.
And also the name goes by a complete vertical stack. It's from HDFS to the browser. It's a complete stack to actually analyze social media data. So we bring social media data, and HBase is a good place to store social media data because you get millions of them, and you need cheap storage. And at the same time, it's social media data you want to like analyze using some machine learning algorithm or some sort of like logic and tag it in multiple forms so that you can retrieve later very easily. So we use HBase and its column names for to leverage its uniqueness of scanning only what is important to us. And we actually implemented a machine learning algorithm called as label propagation algorithm on top of HBase, which uses the properties of HBase in a very interesting manner and in a very sophisticated manner to build a graph. And again, at the same time, HBase is also known as a sparse map, which means that you can build a very, very unique set of graph with all the edges representing, hey, how this person is related to this person, and so on. And later on, we built a kind of an app layer on top of HBase, which leverages this graph and shows it to people in an awesome way. And of course, on top of it comes the JavaScript, which layers all the flashy things, and it allows non-data scientists to leverage the power of HBase, but just by clicking here and there and seeing some interesting trends and graphs.
Yeah, well, we've been developing this for a year and a half. We've been using it with SiliconANGLE for some time, using the predictive analytics. And really that's the secret, predictive analytics, some of the features here. Where else do you see HBase being used? Obviously we see Weeby Data with our friends over there using it for recommendation engines and other schema-less environments, but you talk about the surgical knife. What do you mean by that? Like, is that the main use case?
I mean, one of the things which is very important about HBase is the schema. That is, you have to design a specific schema which suits your purpose, and once you succeed designing it, it's blazingly fast and amazing, and it can do amazing stuff. But if you get the schema wrong, you are screwed up pretty much. So that's where like our friends, like guys like Christoph's Weeby Data comes into place, that they design schema which can be used by many entity-centric